All right, aloha, welcome. This is a video for the basic terms for chapter 3 of the IT 480 course. I'm going to take my glasses off because I can see that my light is making this sort of a funny picture on the reflection. So we'll talk a little bit about the terms that you should know and understand and be able to describe and identify and define for the material in chapter 3. Excuse me. So you should identify and understand what are message delivery options. So the three specifically are unicast, multicast, and broadcast. You should know what those three are, how they're different, how they're the same, which one you use in different scenarios and situations, which one is most appropriate. So again, those are unicast, multicast, and broadcast. Then you should also understand about protocols. Protocols become very significant in IT 480 for us to be able to successfully design a network. So you need to know what protocols are, as well as what are some of the things that they must be able to do. So they must be able to they must be able. Sorry about that. I had a child come talk with me, and so I kind of lost my train of thought. I'm trying to remember where I was. Protocols are important. You should be able to understand what are the requirements of a protocol? Why do we have them? What are they for? What do they do for us? What are the purpose of protocols and sort of their main requirements? There are some standards, some organizations that are responsible for creating and defining the standards that we use for protocols. You should recognize what those organizations are and what they do. What are the standards they are responsible for? And they're kind of just some weird acronyms, but IANA, IANA or IANA, depending upon who you ask, IEEE, so IEEE, IEEE, and lastly, IETF. You should be able to know what they are and what it is that they do and how that corresponds again with the idea of network design. You should be able to describe what are open standards, why do we have them, what are they, and again, how is that related or relevant to network design. Two critical things are the OSI model and the TCP/IP model. So being able to correctly identify what are the layers of those models. And now I had another child come in and need something. So again, trying to remember where I was at. So the OSI and the TCP/IP models, you should definitely understand both of those, understand how they're the same, where do they overlap. You should know what the layers are of both of those models. So our TCP/IP as well as our OSI. I just keep having kids come talk to me. So again, those models, you should definitely understand them and know what they are, be able to identify what the layers are for our OSI model. Starting at the bottom, we have our physical, then data link, then network, then transport, then session, then presentation, then application. So you should be able to recognize those, know what happens at those different layers, why do they exist, etc. And also in a similar way for the TCP/IP model, you should know the names, again, starting from the bottom, the network access, the internet. Another child, hang on. Maybe I'll get to finish this video before kids keep coming in, we'll see. You should also know about the protocol data unit, PDU, and the different terms there. Right. So the PDU should understand what packets are, frames are, and segments, how those are different, how they're similar, how they operate. We use those terms quite a bit, especially packets. We use that word a lot. So understand what that means. Default gateway, local router, those I think were from last week as well. The encapsulation, I'm going to mute something there. Encapsulation and decapsulation. So understanding what those mean and where they happen. So for instance, at the data link layer, if something is going to be encapsulated or decapsulated, what happens at the different layers of the OSI or the TCP/IP models. And then lastly, just NIC, network interface card, understanding what that is and how it's different for Wi-Fi versus Ethernet or Bluetooth or other protocols. So those are the terms. Finally got through the video, and talk to you later. Aloha.